Good morning, everybody. Yes, good Thursday morning. Welcome to Mornings in Meridian. It is the 2 best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Thank you so much for tuning in and being part of our program. When we thank you for joining us, 102.1 FM, WALTmeridian.com. Also, we have that wonderful thing there, what they call that, Facebook. And then there's X and some other things and some YouTubes. And don't forget that WALT app that you can download right to your device. All right, Mornings in Meridian. I'm Roger B. Speaking of device, here is my main man from me and Mr. Rob Allen.
Hello, sir.
Robbie Atkinson.
How are you, sir?
I just called you Rob Allen.
I don't care. I've been called worse.
You have been called worse.
A lot worse.
But to your face, that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Absolutely.
All right. Nobody.
I've got 10 minutes of fighting left in my life, and I'm saving it for the drive-thru line when somebody cuts in front of me. So
That would have been me the other day if you would have been in that little
there
SUV.
we go. We'd have been fighting then.
Well, actually, it was my turn to dovetail. That's what I was. It was my turn to dovetail in the flow. So I took my turn. How's that?
There you go.
10 minutes of fight, huh?
Yes, sir.
I hope I have at least that much left. Either way, if I can't fight, I got something that can do the fighting for me.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. We're so glad you're out there. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to have NES Meridian Lieutenant Ariana Muir is going to be coming on. She's the Deputy Training Officer at NTTC. We'll tell you what NTTC is and any other acronym you'd like to know coming up here on the show later this morning.
Yeah, we got a busy show today.
We do. We're going to be talking about Guys and Dolls at the MCC.
Yep, that's right. It's coming up this weekend as well. So.
I know it, and we'll have some of the actors in that
some of the
performance.
actors.
They'll be coming to the studio talking about Guys and Dolls premiering down at the MCC.
There you go.
So that's all coming up. And in the meantime, of course, we're going to take your phone calls, and we'll talk about this, that, and other thing. Grand jury report. School board meeting tomorrow. Trump debate tonight.
And it's convenient how the school district is listed on the front page of our wonderful newspaper here in the Queen City today.
Go Star. Go Star. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Like I said, a lot to cover this morning.
You know, things were always kind of nice and quiet for the Lauderdale County School Board. They're just kind of out there doing their job.
Last year or two, it has not been the case.
Teaching the kids, spending the money.
Yep.
They kind of poked their head above the surface, didn't they?
They did that.
And
when they said you got to go vote at the schools, I think they got everybody's attention.
Well, and before that, when they said bond issue, the name's Bond, James Bond. Glad you're out there. 601-485-9191. That is our talk line. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Zane
Royal
Good
checking
morning.
in this morning.
Yeah, I am back. I had a little run-in with Canadian Customs the other day. I thought they were going to keep me.
Rob, you see me here. Why am I not shocked?
Shocker.
I'm just not shocked at all. What happened with the Canadian Customs, Zane?
Well, as I came through Vancouver, I had in my carry-on a whole bunch of 50-degree weather from Alaska. And they were already ticked off because they lost the Stanley Cup to us Yanks again.
But well, barely.
A suitcase full of 50-degree weather. That would have been nice.
Yeah,
I wish you could have got through the line with that.
Yeah, Florida about messed that one up.
Yeah.
They were up 3-0 and just were able to hang on.
Yeah, and then didn't go to Game 7, but, hey, that's the way it is. They had on board the ship, they had the game every night. Every night they played the game, so I went in there to watch the game, and it was a bunch of Canadians in there, and I'm like, nah, maybe not. So I didn't even watch the game.
Well, now
but there were a bunch of
it's not like
Canadians up there.
not like you to back down from a room full of Canadians. What happened there? Come on, Zane. You're much more forward and intrusive than that.
Well, yeah, but, it was my vacation. I was trying to keep a low profile.
Okay. I saw some of the pictures on Facebook. Looks like it was a great trip.
It was. It was really great. And I got engaged while I was there on the sofa.
What?
Have you told Ann yet?
Well, yeah.
Okay, good. I just
about
want
to say.
I just wanted to make sure you did the right thing.
Breaking news.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
by the way.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Yeah, she was okay with it after she figured out what I was doing, but I was giving her this mushy speech on the solstice and all this stuff, how the solstice worked, and everything was coming back into balance after that. And,
You were talking nerd talk
she's
to
like,
her?
yeah, real nerd talk.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
No. Mm-mm. I'm glad you saw the error of your ways, sir.
yeah. And she's like, well, what are you trying to say?
You see, where the planets are aligned, the sun is at its highest level in the northern hemisphere, and it just, as the light radiates off of your face, it just makes
You want to get married?
We've been going together for several months, so you began to smell a rat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
yeah,
got it.
she figured it out.
Well, that means she said yes, and so my hat is off to her,
Yeah.
and our prayers will be with her.
Absolutely.
Hey, she's gonna need them.
Yeah, she gonna need them.
So
But that's great. That's great.
So what's the plan? Big wedding or just going to the courthouse?
And we hadn't even got that far yet.
Okay. Well, just,
Well, let me just give you a piece of advice.
Keep it simple.
Please, not in your vows, do not put and you take Buddy the railroad dog to be your pet and everything else. Don't put that in there. Just have it between you and her, okay?
The dogs they're part of the family.
Well, yeah, they're part of the family, but don't write them into the vows, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Buddy's already
You heard
Buddy's
me.
upset for me being gone a week, so
I don't know. I think he was partying. He was free.
He was babysitting the other dogs, and he's like, I am ready to go to work. He had no problem loading up today to go to work.
He was ready to go.
Well, tell me what you liked about Alaska. You had, of course, you said you were on a cruise, so we know that basically you don't have to describe that to us. It's a fancy boat, food and drink. Okay. Now, what about Alaska itself? What did you like about it up there besides the 50-degree weather?
Well, the day we were in Ketchikan, Skagway, it got up to a blistering 61 degrees. And it was a heat wave. And they were like, it is so hot, we can't stand it. And I'm like, buddy, I just got a text on my phone from Scotty Ray saying it was a heat advisory. We were talking about 100-degree heat. I said, you want heat? Come on to Mississippi with me. We'll show you what heat is. They're like, nah, no thanks. But that was my trip to the rainforest, because that's rainforest up there. And so it was really cool being in the cool weather.
Well, good deal. Glad you're back safe and sound and had a good time away, and use that and you made it a productive vacation, getting engaged and making sure that not only is Buddy going to be cared for in the days ahead, so you will too. That you'll have somebody, kind of feed you and take care of you.
That's right. He knows he's going to be taken care of. So.
Oh, I know that. I'm talking about you. You're the one we're worried about.
Yeah. Well, I'll make it. I'm a survivor.
So, did she put any stipulations or conditions? Yes, I will if, or anything that's contractual that we need to know about. Anything about how the. I mean, I'm prying in your business, but that's because you just put it out there. So.
More hockey.
She said, "What?
What?
More hockey."
She said, "More hockey."
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So I'm like, well, season's over, but October's coming.
It really is true love, Rob.
True love.
There you go. The only thing money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. All right, good job on you, Zane. All right, well, congratulations, Zane, engaged, and we certainly congratulate you. Wish you the very best.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I need to come by the radio station one day, probably first of the week. I need to come by there and offer some. Election time's coming up.
Offer some Yeah, that's what
And there's a very important election that's going to be held in November.
Yeah.
We've got to make sure we get the right man in. And that's the mayoral election of the city of Sokolina. And so I gotta come up and do some campaigning.
All right, going to campaign for the incumbent, I hope.
Yes.
Good,
sure.
good. All right, good deal.
And maybe even have some campaign contributions in reverse that we'll do for you.
Well, look at there.
Okay.
I've never had a politician give anything to me.
Yeah, well, we don't want to call it a bribe. But, just a reverse campaign contribution.
Got you. All right, reverse campaign contribution. Got it. We got it. That's a good deal. All right, well, just let us know. All right.
All right, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.
Thank you.
Sir.
Good call. Welcome back, Zane, from his cruise. He was
newly engaged too.
Newly engaged.
Congratulations.
So how about that?
Yeah.
And I've met Ann. I don't know if you've met her, but
I have. Yeah. She came up here to the studio
that's
one
right.
day. Yeah.
Delightful lady.
Yeah,
Delightful
absolutely.
lady. He's really, what do they say? Outkicked his coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Big
right.
time.
There you go. All right. Good deal. We're glad you're out there. Mornings in Meridian. Let me tell you, speaking of coverage, you need to have the right coverage on your insurance and also make sure you're dealing with the right insurance person. Why don't you just go down, like we said, and talk to Jeffrey Wilson at State Farm Insurance right there on Highway 39.
You know, I've always said every time we talk about Jeffrey Wilson, you want to work with an insurance agent that is so embedded in our area. And, of course, Jeffrey is that. He is involved in so many organizations from the FCA, the Downtown Optimist Club. The list goes on. And, of course, go by and see him and have a cup of coffee this morning and talk about combining your home and auto insurance. He is located at 2401 Highway 39 North in Meridian, right across the street from EMEPA. And, of course, when you combine home and auto insurance with Jeffrey Wilson State Farm, you're going to save on average, this is just average, folks, $889. And the savings could be even more than that. So go by and see him today or call ahead. And his number is 601-483-8253. Like a good neighbor, Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm Insurance. And Jeffrey's a good guy. You really enjoy that conversation. And like I said, good community-minded guy. And, of course, great staff down there as well that works in the office with Jeffrey Wilson, State Farm.
All right, Rob, I'm working on my shopping list. Go by and get some popcorn and some sodas and things for the
for the debate
for
tonight.
the debate tonight. And I've got my watch all shined up, ready. Actually, I got a new watch here.
New watch?
Kind of enjoying it. Yeah, you like that?
Oh, yeah. So that's where the pay raise went.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, in your dreams.
Raise?
Yes, raise. We're in radio. That's the
Right.
the only thing we raise around here are antennas. All right, it's get ready. I want to watch and make sure. I want since they made the rule. I want to make sure they adhere to the 3-minute rule, whatever it is, and the mics will be cut off for both candidates at the time. And I don't know if CNN is going to put a counter up so that the whole audience can watch or whatever, because how do you know when they actually start the time?
Well, here's the rules for the first presidential debate tonight, which, by the way, it is going to be simulcasted on Fox tonight. So I wonder how many people will watch the simulcast and not watch CNN.
Oh, that'd be fun to talk about tomorrow.
They're going to have 2 commercial breaks tonight, and candidates cannot interact with campaign staff throughout the 90-minute period.
Now, wait a minute. Say that again.
Says candidates cannot interact with campaign staff throughout the 90-minute period. Biden gets the podium on the right, which I don't know what that means. Trump will get the opportunity to make the
better ears on his right. I
the
guess
final closing statement because they had to flip a coin for that. So Trump will get the final word tonight. Mics will be muted outside speaking time. No props, pre-written notes, pen, paper, water will be provided. Wonder what that was going to be in that water.
I was going to say Trump might want to have somebody who can't interact with campaign staff. Somebody can just kind of sip the water first, you know.
And also the 29 fact checkers will be there as well.
You're having the same company you called fake news supplying you a bottle of water. I think I'll just bring my own. I think I'll just bring my own.
And all these news agencies are going nuts because Trump has said that his VP pick is going to be there tonight. It's going to be 5 or 6 different people there tonight, and he's just going to keep them on the run. It's like, I don't think he's going to announce that tonight.
And have you noticed where Fox is kind of exploiting that? They're going out and doing interviews of the potential vice presidential candidates.
Yeah, they had Tim Scott on this morning. Had J.D. Vance yesterday. They talked to Doug Burgum. I mean, they're kind of doing their due diligence. But what if it's not any of these people?
Oh, that'll be so funny.
Yeah.
In fact, that would actually what I would prefer now at this point.
But
they've got all this trouble to interview these people.
That's what Trump does.
Oh, by the way, here's my vice presidential candidate. Yes, Donald Duck. Yay! All right.
At this point, I think a lot of people would take Donald Duck.
That's right.
You might be able to understand him better than what's going to be on the stage tonight. So.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
Oh, man.
Build escape.
Oh, mercy.
But I just think it would be funny. There's no audience tonight, by the way. So there's no...
Well, how is vice presidential candidates going to be there then?
I guess they'd be backstage, I guess.
They have VIPs.
VIPs or something like that. But yeah, they're going to have 29 fact checkers that are going to be there during the debate tonight. And most of those folks are from the New York Times.
Now, they said they can't interact with their campaign staff. But what about their Secret Service? You know, you get the little answers brought in by the way of the little earpiece, you know, there.
Maybe. It's going to be interesting, for sure.
You're trying to remember the name of...
Well, it is historic tonight in two aspects. This is the earliest we've ever had a presidential debate in a cycle.
Pre-convention.
Yeah, and also this is the first time where you've had a rematch, I guess, so to speak, of a debate that's going to be on television. You know, we've had... a rematch of two guys going at each other. But as far as a debate on television, first time we've ever had this before. So there's a lot of history being made tonight. So. History.
All right. Well, like I say, get my popcorn and sodas, and I'll be all right. Sit there and be able to watch a debate and see. Well, I gave up a James Bond rerun for this. Morning's in Meridian. Let's say good morning, caller. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Hey, now.
Come on in here.
America took a step forward yesterday, guys.
Well, we could use one.
Yeah, we need a lot of forward
One
steps.
of the squad got their tail beat in an election yesterday.
Sure did.
You're talking about
Bowman? Bowman, yeah.
That was a big deal, guys. The Jewish people, and they're claiming, they want to say AIPAC did it, put in $14 million for his candidate. Opposing candidate or somebody did, but I don't care about that. The thing about it is the Jewish people of that district said no. And for them to continue to vote for Democrats the way they have through the years is just, you don't understand that. We don't understand, but maybe they're starting to see the light after what all has happened with all the riots and things in favor of Hamas and whatever else. Maybe they're finally going to see that, and maybe they'll be voting differently in November also.
It says something that it says something that you go on a foul language rampage in the Bronx and you're not welcomed.
Exactly.
that says something about you right there.
Maybe you should go pull another fire alarm or something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, this is the idiot. Yeah, by the way, this is the idiot that pulled the fire alarm. No punishment, no repercussions for that, I don't think either. But then that's a serious offense, actually, a serious thing to do something like that. But this idiot didn't have nothing to do at the time, so that's who you won't run in the country, right?
Yeah, right.
Nah. But all right, one or two things happen. Which would y'all, if y'all were betting guys, which would you bet's going to happen? Trump's going to lose it and go off on one of his tirades and stuff like that and get off point, or Biden is going to be a stumbling, bumbling, mumbling clown. Biden has not done that yet in one of these. Y'all know that?
No, he hasn't. He's going to
terrible.
Yeah.
And now he's lied. He's lied like a dog. But as far as looking awful, I mean, look at the State of Union. We keep thinking, he's going to get on there and not be able to even say his words. He has. I don't know what they shoot him up with.
Well, his infusion is set for 10 o'clock, and no, that's fake news. I'll admit that it's fake news.
And what is that they shooting him up with? We all need. If I can turn that clown into somebody who can make a complete sentence, we might need some of that ourselves.
No, Chuck, to answer your question, I think it's going to be a little bit of both tonight. I think
Yeah.
Trump, sometimes he just cannot help himself. He just has to get
Right.
into that lane. And with Biden,
Right.
you're going to get, I don't think it's going to be a complete just bumbling mess all night, but he'll have a couple of moments tonight, I think. So,
Yeah, well, we'll see. We know we're gonna get a.
There's one thing you do know.
And
There's
people,
there's one thing you do know, that most of the time when Trump is talking is going to be what he wants to talk about.
sure.
yeah, well, he's gonna have to fight to see who's narrating.
Jake Tapper, and I can't remember the other moderator's name, but yeah, they're both from CNN. So,
Yeah, well, this deal. If people not looking around when you go out and get on the interstate or and I know all these people ain't illegal, but most of them are. And these employers that are employing illegals, they're just as guilty as Biden because what happened to the it used to be have to do an e-verification, a check,
Still do.
to see if you were hiring somebody,
Yeah.
but that's out the window. They're not doing that. All these people getting jobs and stuff like that, and bringing down wages and taking jobs from Americans. That's not happening. But I don't know. Anyway, so what are they saying the numbers up to now? We got 30, 40 million illegals in this country.
give or take, yeah.
Yeah. Well, now what is that on a daily basis? What does it cost to clothe, feed, house, educate, and medical care 40 million people?
Yeah.
What does it cost?
Well, there you go, Chuck. All right,
All right,
we got a break
thanks,
coming up.
Bobby.
Thanks for checking in with us, and yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight. It's, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be all right.
It's all right.
They're both going to do fine. All right, we'll be back. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Lieutenant Ariana Mir. We'll talk to her.
Fox News.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that no means yes.
Daddy, can I have a Happy Meal?
No! Mornings in Meridian. Lori Morgan. Yes, she'll be coming to Meridian.
Yeah, she's on the new Riley Center schedule.
Yeah, she turned 65 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Lori. Good luck filing for that Medicare.
Yep, that's that day.
I know it. Mornings in Meridian wants to say happy birthday to her. Also, let's see, Beach Boys Bruce Johnston is 82.
Hey.
Still driving that 409 and surfing USA. Still doing all that stuff.
Still doing it.
And let's see, on the actress's side, Tobey Maguire, 49 years old today.
Wow.
How about that? Mr. Spider-Man.
Yeah, did a couple of those.
And let's see, Julia Duffy. You know, Rob, I have been enjoying watching Newhart reruns, and she's just funny as can be, being that spoiled rich kid, blonde girl.
The last few years when television was great.
Yes. The 80s and 90s. Let's see, but she's 73 years old today. And, of course, I'm sure she only looks 29, but she is 73. That's Julia Duffy. And let's see, there's some of your birthdays. Let's see some others that jump off the page here. That's about it. Oh, here's one. I got Rob on this one because I'm looking at the name Bob. He didn't recognize the name Bob Keeshan.
Yeah.
But we just, people my age and older know that that's Captain Kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
Yep, Captain Kangaroo. He was born on this day in 1927. All right, there you go. Good morning, boys and girls. It's time to get underway with NAS Meridian. But first, let's tell the folks about where to go and get their business supplies.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, there's one place, Southern Business Supply, located in Marion, 5685 Dale Drive there in Marion, just across the Wayman-Newell Bridge. Of course, they're going to be opening up the doors at 8 o'clock this morning. And you could also shop online at southernbusinesssupply.com. And, of course, they have full lines of office furniture, home office furniture, and they even offer next-day delivery on most of those items. And they're locally owned, family-operated. Billy Adam Calvert and his family, good folks down there. They service all of Meridian and the surrounding areas, and even carry those 5-gallon spring water coolers as well. Break room supplies, the list goes on and on. So appreciate Billy Adam and the family down there at Southern Business Supply. Buy local. All the money stays here in our backyard. And say no to the big box stores. Say yes to Southern Business Supply. 5685 Dale Drive in Marion. And they'll be opening up in about 20 minutes. Go by and see them at Southern Business Supply.
We are underway with NAS Meridian, and of course we're always happy to highlight personnel and offices that are there at NAS Meridian. We thank Penny Randall for bringing another guest to our studio. Thank you, Penny. Yeah. She's like, she's back there. She's back there with her cattle prod to make sure that if we ask the wrong questions, we will be corrected immediately. All right, but let's welcome our guest here. We're delighted to have Lieutenant Ariana Meir. How are you doing, ma'am?
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Welcome.
Good morning.
So glad you're here. Lieutenant, are you?
Yes, thank you.
You've been in a couple of years.
Yes, coming up a little over 5 years now.
Okay.
Well, very good. So we're glad you are here. And, of course, we're going to ask you about what you think about Meridian. But first, let's find out where you're from originally and where have your duty stations been prior to arriving at Meridian.
Sure, absolutely. I am from Marietta, Georgia.
Georgia.
Yes.
I noticed you had that little peach glow about you when you walked in here.
Georgia girl.
Southern girl without the heavy Southern accent.
Well, when you've been a little bit around the world, you just adapt.
Join the Navy, see the world. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, after all these people keep saying, "What'd you say? What'd you say?" You start talking like they do. So there you go. Marietta, Georgia. Grew up there. Went to school there.
Yes, I went to high school there, and I went to college over there. I actually attended Spelman College.
Okay. Excellent. Well, there you go. So you saw a Navy poster in a window, and you said, "Hey, I think that's what I'll do." How did that all happen?
Actually, when I was in high school, I did join the JROTC program, and it
okay,
was
very good.
Navy. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I think from that point, I decided I wanted to be in the Navy. Specifically, though, as an officer, I remember my instructors over in high school, they pushed me to that potential. So
They
that's
knew
what I
you.
did.
They knew you had what it took.
Yes,
They saw it in you.
they saw it in me, and I pressed the I believe button, and here I am now.
Wow.
Do you think you think Ariana needs to be enlisted or officer? No, she's definitely officer.
Officer.
There you go. Well, very good, Lieutenant. We want to. That's good to know that you're just from a neighboring state, so that's pretty cool. But once you, we know, of course, you probably went to Illinois for your first. No, you go to officer school, don't you? So, what was your first stop once you joined?
So when I graduated high school and got into college, there's also an ROTC program there.
Mm-hmm.
So I commissioned through the ROTC program at my school.
There you go.
From there, my first duty station was actually in Mayport, Florida.
Yeah.
I was on the USS Roosevelt, a destroyer, DDG-80.
Wow.
Yes.
Rob, it's a DGG-80.
Yeah, that's right.
You knew that, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't know Captain Kangaroo, but you know the DGG-80. So there you go. So you were a destroyer, USS Roosevelt, and where did that destroyer take you?
So, as a matter of fact, the destroyer, we did a home port shift.
Okay.
Which means that the ship is moving from one station to another station, and we ended up going to Rota, Spain.
Oh,
Nice.
well, if you have to.
Yeah.
If that's where they send you.
Gotta make that trip. Gotta do it, you know.
Well, that's great. So so it was changed. That was going to be its home port over there.
Yes.
So Rota, Spain.
Rota, Spain. So
Tell
I
me what you think of Spain?
Spain, well, I always say that the country, it's very beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we went there, it was right when COVID. But also a good learning opportunity type experience.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely learned a lot during my tour there.
And how long was that?
I was on that ship from 2019, towards the end of 2019, and I left mid-summer of 2022.
Okay, so good bit of time.
A good bit of time, yes. But as far as Spain goes, it's very beautiful there. I
It is.
enjoyed it, even through the midst of COVID. I still enjoyed what I could see. I did go to different cities around there. It's very nice, very nice, and I
Very
enjoyed
good.
the people as well. The food is good.
Food is good. I agree.
Food is good.
Good food, good
Yes.
scenery, nice people, all those things.
Mhm.
And so you were in Spain, and then, of course, once your tour of duty was over there in Spain, then where did you go from there?
So after Spain, I called my detailer and I told her, "Hey, listen, I'd like to join."
Is
a
that how we
different
address our
community."
detailers? Hey, listen.
Hey, listen here.
You can tell you she's officer. That's how they knew she was officer
Yeah.
material.
Hey.
It wasn't may I or
Yeah.
hey, can I run something by you?
Yeah.
Hey, hey, listen. I love it. That's good.
Not exact conversations, but words similar to that effect. But I did communicate with my detailer, my chain of command. I said, "Hey, I'd like to join the human resources community." Because prior to that, I was a SWO, surface warfare officer.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to join the human...
No, surface warfare officer. What are you doing in that SWO?
Oh, you
SWO?
drive ships.
You drive ship. Okay, so you were actually driving the ship.
Yes.
She got the keys to the ship and she can drive it.
That's right.
That's cool.
Start it up and take it around the harbor and let me know what you think.
That's right.
But that's kind of cool,
That is
though.
cool. Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
I think it's
very
a
neat.
So,
it's a really cool experience.
all right. So,
How's it handle?
the skiers out back give you the thumbs up. There you go. No. So did that just kind of like, okay, well, I've been here, done this, I'm ready to move on, or how did that all? I mean, that seems pretty cool being a weapons officer.
It was more of like a personal choice that I wanted to make for my life and
Mhm.
in my career in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the way the human resources community works. And I just felt that, my own personal morals and beliefs, I think it aligned more with that particular community, and I feel like I would have been a much better asset to the Navy in that community.
Okay, so there you
right.
go. You made the switch, and where did they send you to train you on HR stuff?
So once I spoke to my detailer and they gave me the green light to join the community, I decided to come here to Meridian.
Okay, there we go. That's where Meridian comes in. And you say you decide. This is a different Navy than what I remember interviewing from years ago. I decided to come to Meridian.
Hey, listen here.
The last I checked, they had these envelopes that opened up, and they said, "You're going to Meridian." That's kind of the way I thought it worked. So it doesn't work that way anymore.
Well, you do have like a list that you can kind of choose from, right? You put in your priorities, where you want to go.
Okay, see,
Gotcha.
now
And my number one choice was Meridian.
way to go. Why?
Yes. Why? Well, I am from Georgia, so I wanted something a little closer to home.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. That checks.
Yes.
Check a box.
Yes. I was told that Meridian is a great place, or at least a command that I'm going to for a new HR officer. You got a lot of people that work in that specific area. You have mentors as well that can help you. So I was like, you know what? For my first tour as HR officer, let me go here. And so far, I've been enjoying it.
Well, that's what we wanted to do. That was my next question. How did you like Meridian? So first impressions, were they good first impressions?
Oh, yes. I remember as soon as I walked up to the building of NTTC, the first person that I saw was actually Miss Ellen Mustaine.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it very vividly.
Yeah.
It was a bright summer day,
Okay.
very warm, and she was right there waiting for me. So I'm just like, wow, this must be the Southern hospitality that people talk about. And that's what I got.
And the truth will set you free. There you go. Well, that is fantastic. So so it's summer. That would have been like a year ago?
It was actually the summer of 2022.
22.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've been here a while. You're not fixing to leave, are you?
Next year.
Next year. Okay, 3 years with us. Well, very good. So you've been here, and of course, your duty here is the Deputy Training Officer now at NTTC, which we know is the Naval Technical Training Center.
There we go.
But tell me what happens at the NTTC.
Okay. So NTTC is actually, it's a learning site. And in this particular area, we train the admin and the supply rates for the Navy sailors.
Okay. So the people that are going to do the paper shuffling and the desk driving come here at the NTTC and learn how to do that.
Yes. Although there is a lot more in detail. But essentially.
That's just one layer, Roger.
I was just trying to break it down for my little simple mind. But
Well,
that's
paperwork and supplies are very, very important. Without that, you can't move. So.
supply chain. There
That's
you
right,
go.
big time.
Very good. Somebody go tell the Chinese that. Wait a minute, they already know that. Okay, never mind. That's a whole another day, another story. So here we go. You're here. You're in TTC, and of course, and we're always. And the reason I like to end, kind of highlight that because we know that we do have a naval air station. We see the orange and white jets, and we're training pilots. We get that. But there are so many more personnel that are coming on board NAS Meridian to train, and that's through the NTTC. How many students do you see in a given year?
Ooh.
That'd be the
would
hard
say-
question you asked me about earlier.
Well,
About
yeah,
3,000?
It's definitely over the 1,000 range.
Yeah.
We get a very high throughput, especially now with, we're always trying
Penny's
to.
holding up the 3,000 sign, so I guess we'll go with that one.
No, but it's true. It's
Put the
true.
pedal
We do
pro
get
away,
we
put it
do
away.
get a lot of students coming in.
Yeah,
you know?
so there's a big turnover. I mean, they come in for what 3-4 months at a time, something like
Yes.
that. Yeah, so they come in
can,
there. So
they
there's
can.
a big changeover. So you have a lot
Wow.
of people coming on board,
A lot of folks.
coming through Meridian in a year's time.
Yes.
So learning all these supply detail, desk driving, phone calling, emailing jobs, which are important, or else the Navy just sits in a port and doesn't go anywhere. And the planes stay on the deck and nothing flies unless you guys and gals are doing your work.
Very
Perfect.
true. Yes.
Well, very good. So now, when are you in the Navy career alone, or do you have a family, or?
So I am actually single. I do have a cat that does accompany me on my trips. But so far, I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. Very
Yes.
good. Very good. Well, we just told thousands and thousands and thousands of eligible people that you're single. So probably what's going to happen is the station's going to be lighting up after you leave. And they're gonna figure out, how do I get her number? I said, just go to the Navy base. Just anyway, so now the cat may have been a killer for some of the inquiries.
That's okay.
What's his name or her name?
Her name is Sinatra.
Sinatra.
Yes, I adopted her from Spain.
I love
Wow.
it.
Okay.
I love
Yes.
it.
How
I
about
like that.
It's a cool name.
That is a cool name.
I like that.
Yes, I agree.
Very good. Well, there you have it. So you're here in Meridian, of course. There'll be next time you say, "Hey, listen," to your superior officers. What do you want them to hear? What's your next preferred duty state? Where do you think you would like to go when you leave Meridian?
So I do have a few options, but I'd like to go into recruiting. That's something that interests me quite a bit, especially, the Navy, right? We're trying to figure out on how we can increase recruiting and how we can increase retention in the Navy. So I know a few months ago I attended a conference for the HR community, and one of the topics that they did talk about was recruiting. So I think that really piqued my interest, and that's something that I really want to dive into.
Oh, very good.
Oh, yes.
So it's maybe a recruiting. So that could be anywhere then, because
It can, yes,
yeah,
it can.
that opens up a whole lot of options. But as far as some of the ports of call, you've been to Spain, but any other parts of the world you might like to set foot on before your career comes to a halt?
One day I would like to visit Asia. I have never been, so I think that's something that I would like to go. I would like to go see.
Pretty big continent.
I know they do have a billet in Japan for HR officers, but I think that billet has already been pre-filled. So
No, just
maybe
call up,
sometime in the
Just
future.
call them and say, hey, listen here.
I know you filled that bullet. That's right.
Yeah, hey, listen here.
I want to go to Japan.
Well, what's cool
me
about
and Sinatra are shipping
That's
off
right.
Japan.
We're going.
what's cool about talking with the detailers, right, is that
Yeah.
you do get to build a rapport with them. You get to talk to them about a little bit more on like personal but also professional life and goals that you want to achieve.
Sure.
Right? And that's what they're there for. They're there to help you, get to where you need to be to help you grow in your career, but still be able to be flexible, right, with your own personal life, because we're all human, right? But still, keeping in mind the needs of the Navy as well. So they do a really great job in working with individual sailors to make sure they get to where they need to be.
I think you're an example of, I think, one of the best recruiting tools, and that is having a junior ROTC program at your school.
Oh, yes.
And I know that not every school can have that, but is there something that would be through an HR or a recruitment that would help schools kind of learn how to do that, or is that somebody else that handles that?
So I will say training and development does fall under the HR community. I know that's one of the career tracks, as what we call, that does fall under that community. And that's actually something that's what I'm interested, the training and development side.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm just judging by not just your rank, but also your conversation, that you were probably a front row student in school, were you not?
In high school or in college?
In high school.
High school, yes.
Did you get picked on a lot?
No.
Oh, good. Okay, so you were the cool teacher's pet. All right, there you got two different ones there.
Well, I enjoy learning. I will say that.
And that's the teacher's pet. I was my theory correct or not? No, that's good. But no, that's good that you enjoy learning. I can tell that you're very deliberative about it. You're very, you kind of analyze what you want to do, and then hey, listen, go after it.
Yeah, hey, listen here.
I think that's pretty good.
But I did love the fact that you got plugged into an ROTC program, and we got some great ones here in our area. So that's kind of what struck the match, I guess, in the beginning, right?
Oh yes, most definitely. I think it's a good way to just get some type of exposure of what the military is and what it can do.
Fantastic.
You know, there's the list of jobs is endless. So, you know, if you're advising a parent or a grandparent about their high school youth, about, you know, a direction that they might go, what's the best sale you can give us? What's the best commercial you can give us now for the Navy and, you know, a career path through military service?
I would say, just try it out. You know, there's no harm in just trying something out. You know, you won't know unless you're exposed to it, and then from there make your decision. You know, I will be honest, right? The Navy is not for everyone, but you won't know unless you try.
See, I think that's one of the wisest things we've heard in our interviews. I'll have to congratulate you on that. And that is,
Thank you.
You get a lot of recommendations, but yeah, if you invest a couple of years of your life, you decide you don't, you still have plenty of time to pursue other careers.
Yes.
So give it a shot. Try it. You might like it. You may not.
That's right.
They might like you. They may not. It kind of goes that way too, folks. So don't think that you deserve to be there, because you basically it's a meritorious service. You join and you become part of the communities in the military, and then you perform. Otherwise, you go home and look for something else.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, I'm so glad that you, Lieutenant Adriana Meir, you are here in Meridian, Mississippi. We got another year of you being here, which is good.
Yes.
Let's see. Have you seen everything around the community? Have you toured everything? Is there anything that you need to go see?
I have been downtown. I have been on North Hills. I've been to Walmart many times.
Yep, you pretty much been there. He's
A lot of options there.
She's.
I am a Walmart person.
I guess she's seen Meridian, Rob.
Yeah.
No,
but if there's
no.
any other great places, please do let me know.
Well, there
have
is.
been to
There's
quite a good few.
There's a soft serve ice cream machine out at Meridian Aviation. If you ever get to keep it.
Yeah, right.
You need it. You need and all the rest. So go out to Meridian Aviation, check it out. Also, I guess well, you checked off the radio station today.
That's right.
So that's good.
Oh yes.
So a lot of good things. Well, listen. Hey, listen.
Hey, you listen.
It's been good having you here with us today. And
Thank
we
you.
wish you well in your service. It looks like you're planning on at least a 20-year career.
Hopefully, yes.
Very good. All right. Well, good luck to you and Sinatra.
Thank you.
As you continue to serve.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
With that, we'll take a break, Rob. We'll come back with more of Mornings in Meridian.
Sounds good.
Hey, listen, everybody. We're going to take a break. welcome back to Mornings in Meridian. Yes, it is the second hour of the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Roger B. with you this morning. No, almost sound like a Yankee. Roger B.
Oh,
Well, that's Roger B. here.
Oh my.
and I'd like for you to say hi to Rob Atkinson.
Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing quite well.
Did you enjoy our visit with Lieutenant Adriana Meir?
Yeah, she was fantastic. So glad to have her here for just one more year. But done a great job out there at the base, and appreciate her stopping by.
It dawned on me when it was too late because I am the king of corn. I thought of something very corny to say, but I didn't think of it in time. She said she has a cat at home.
Meow.
So her last name being Meir, I said, oh, it must be a meerkat. Okay.
Sinatra.
All right. Boom. That's all right, folks. It's only 49 minutes left of the show. Don't worry about it. We're glad you're out there tuned in. Roger, Rob, you, a good combination. Coming up on the show in a little bit is going to be a couple of cast members, as they say, with Guys and Dolls. It's the Stage 2 production of the young people out there at MCC.
Fantastic.
So we're looking forward to that visit. But in the meantime, we got stuff to talk about. Stuff like... Let's talk about the... Rob is holding up the grand jury report, which he has kept on his porch since noon yesterday. And
it was folded up and delivered. There you go. So,
it's
good
right.
Lord.
So the grand jury has analyzed our judicial process here in Lauderdale County. What do they say, Rob?
Well, they were in session for 3 days and examined 22 witnesses, returned 112 true bills of indictment to open court, and returned 15 no true bills. So that's the...
15.
So 15 no true bills. And, of course, as usual...
Easy.
The Meridian Police Department is mentioned. Here we go. I'm just going to read this here, filed yesterday from Donna Jill Johnson. The Meridian Police Department should establish a protocol for training all officers and detectives in the collection and preservation of evidence. Some of the officers also need additional training in courtroom presentation. More thorough investigations are needed in felony cases with a focus on domestic violence cases. First time we've heard this. The grand jury recognizes the many challenges in prosecuting domestic violence cases, especially if a victim is uncooperative. However, the grand jury recommends the development of a protocol that will facilitate earlier contact with victims of domestic violence, as well as training all officers to conduct more thorough follow-up investigations. So, Roger, first time we've heard a domestic violence type situation included in the grand jury report. So evidently maybe one of these 15 no true bills may have had something to do with evidence not being followed up on. Something was not followed up on, or whatever it might have been. So, but yeah, they really pointed that out.
Well, we usually check and see who is investigating the no true bills, and you said there's 15.
There's 15 of those. So
which law enforcement agencies were investigating those?
Who knows? Because it's not listed on here. They've never done that before. They always just say, hey, here's the ones that are true indictment to open court, and of course the no true. But it was 112 true bills of indictment to open court and 15 no true bills. So I'm assuming one of those no true bills had to do with maybe a domestic violence case with the MPD that they were investigating, and someone, because they said, that they understand that it's tough to, with a victim that's uncooperative, that may have been something to do with evidence collecting. I mean, we've seen that before with the Meridian Police Department, but also Lauderdale County Detention Facility was mentioned again.
Downtown jail?
Yeah, the downtown. It to be clean and safe, but outdated.
Yeah.
Many areas of the facility have rusted and are deteriorating. There's also a need for an updated video surveillance system to aid in monitoring detainees. There continues to be an ongoing need for additional staff at the detention facility. Some inmates express frustrations about visitation being limited to video or telephone communication. The grand jury recommends that the Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors begin planning for the building of a new detention facility. The grand jury recommends that the next grand jury follow up on the recommendations made in this report. And, of course, they submitted this yesterday. So so the second grand jury report where the detention facility has been mentioned, and of course this one they went into a little bit more detail. And Roger, if you remember, there was an individual who had messaged us through Facebook. It's been several months back, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, where he had been held up at a local convenience store where someone had jumped in his vehicle with a knife or whatever, and he was a little frustrated. He reached out to me last night. You know, was my case a part of the grand jury? Was that presented yesterday or during this 3-day process? To be honest with you, I don't know, because we don't get that information, unfortunately. We just get the hard numbers of how many days, how many cases, and stuff like that. So
that would require a little trip down to the government complex.
Yeah. So, but
or a phone call down
and
there.
Of course, they did mention there was 22 witnesses that were examined. So I guess that would be a part of frustration. You know, that happened to me. I'm a witness they could have called in my case. So I'm not sure how that process works, but that's what we're presented to from Donna Jill is just the 3-page report here. So,
and then of course, and as you point out, a lot of these cases plea out. So
that too.
Not going to be any trial ahead. It's just it's kind of handled.
And I understand it's frustrating. I know it's very frustrating when you're involved in a crime like that and the details surrounding that particular crime, but. Of those 15 no true bills, I'm not sure how many of those were handled by the sheriff's office or the Meridian police, but obviously one of those, the domestic violence case, had to have been one of those.
One or more.
One or more, maybe.
601-485-9191 is our talk line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to our show.
So the grand jury recommends building the new jail.
Yes, sir.
How convenient.
I got a good spot for them.
Since they were already looking at that, so that's just so convenient. But you know, I mean, just because the taxpayers just got through with a $53 million new city hall, that don't mean they ain't got another $50 million laying around to build a jail, right? I had an old supervisor tell me, well, not an old supervisor tell me one time, says, you know, it's hard to get that money back in your pocket if it ain't in circulation, so keep a project going at all times. Keep a project going at all times. The money will be moving around, and it's hard to watch. Now then, the additional training. Did they say start with the chief?
You could include that in there if you want to.
It says the department, right?
It says the department.
The other one, the guy that was in there, you reckon he would recognize the need for more training that already be done? This is what happens when you hire somebody that doesn't have a clue about their job. They need to need training from one end to the other. That's pretty bad.
I would have to say, Chuck, I'd have to say of all these grand jury reports, I would have to say at least the last 8 or 9 of these have said the same thing when it comes to that part of it, the training. And this continues and continues and continues and continues, and it's like every grand jury brings it up over and over and over again. So,
at what point do they say, "Hey, these guys know what they're doing"? Maybe you reckon if your police force knows what they're doing and has access to all this training already done, you reckon the crime rate might be lower?
Yeah.
Here's an anonymous contribution to our show about the police department, if you'd like to hear it.
I'd love to hear it.
An anonymous contribution says the best thing they could do is name James Sharp chief and send Deborah and Benny home.
Well, it don't seem to be getting better with the current situation, but I guess what's the definition of insanity is continue to do the same thing, expecting different results. But
I know that all too well. You just summed up my life. I've been trying to become a millionaire, and I keep doing the same thing, and I'm coming up.
So, Roger, walk up in the bank and tell them you identify as a millionaire.
Yeah, right. There you
tell
go.
them why isn't the money already in your account?
What's wrong here? All right.
But Chuck, what it boils down to when we read these reports every single month from the circuit clerk's office, it always talks about the training. Folks wonder why these folks get cut loose, because when the grand jury gets their hands on these cases, they got to let these folks go because they screwed up collecting evidence, or they just messed up the whole process. And guess what? They're back out on the street again.
How terrible is that your police and not saying they're not good guys.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're not
Yeah.
knowledgeable and know what they're supposed to do. Why?
Mhm.
Why? What year is it that they are going to know? How many years have to go by with an inadequately trained police force before you say, hey, let's get these guys up to speed, you know? That would be a good idea. And one other quick thing, guys. Did y'all ever hear the report from where the prisoner took the gun from the officer in the facility down there, jail facility, the courthouse facility? Did y'all ever hear, was it lack of training, the cause, or what exactly they came up with in the end? The grand jury look at that, I wonder?
That's a heck of a question. You would have to think it, with all of these cases that were in there, I don't know. Who knows?
I think the solution is get more cameras.
Yeah, get more cameras. Yeah, get more cameras.
We're going to fix that. We're going to get more cameras.
Well, that'll stop them from getting your gun, trying to steal a gun from policemen because they don't want it on camera. That'll work, yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, they should have been in this particular grand jury report, shouldn't it?
You would think so,
right.
but you know, the thing about it is you would think it would be in this particular grand jury report, but the problem is on this end of things, when we get these reports, they only give us the numbers of the true bills of indictment and the no true bills. We don't get details about each case. But I will say this, the one thing that is very apparent in the Meridian Police Department section of this grand jury report is that a domestic violence case or cases was pointed out by the grand jury and their lack of maybe following up on an interview or evidence collecting. So evidently there was a couple of cases, maybe just one, where they pointed that out. So
yeah. Well, it would be interesting if somebody had the time to go with the Freedom of Information Act and see exactly what the details were when the guy took the officer's gun.
Well, Chuck, you got time. Well, you just sitting down there fishing.
Man, I don't have time to look up. I don't have time to look
You're
up.
not those disabled veterans. They don't come around till fall, so you got plenty of time.
Shoot, man, I'm like, you know, I mean, as you get older, there's supposed to be free time, ain't it? I'm busier than I've ever been in my life.
Chuck calls me up and says, if somebody had time, and I'm thinking, here's a guy with all the time in the world on his hands.
That ain't me, guys. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for the phone call. Good to hear from you, Chuck. 601-485-9191. Put you right here. 601-485-9191. We'd love to hear from you. And speaking of, we have our own grand jury here at the studio. It's the Meridian Media Group grand jury that suggests that businesses here in the area need to take time to, increase their productivity by calling Purvis Business Machines and getting copiers and printers and machines from Purvis Business Machines, because they not only sell them to you, but they're right there ready to service them, and they don't give you any excuses.
And this document was printed off of a service machine from Purvis.
See, that's what I'm saying. Purvis Business Machines, Rob.
I tell you what, service not excuses since 1979, 4505 Highway 39 North of Meridian. Go by and see their beautiful showroom, folks. And, of course, their number is 601-693-COPY. And lease return color copiers, you're going to save up to 85% on these items. Of course, Don Lucas can get you fixed up down there at Purvis Business Machines, or you can go online to gopurvis.com. That's gopurvis.com. And, of course, if you need something for your home office, hey, your church, whatever it might be, Purvis is the place to go. And, of course, they'll service that item as time goes along as well. 601-693-COPY. That is service, not excuses, since 1979 with Purvis Business Machines.
And I want to say something to the men and women in the Meridian Police Department. If you signed up to work in the Meridian Police Department, I just want to say I realize and we appreciate the fact that you want to do that.
Sure.
And that you're not getting paid a lot of money to do that.
No.
And if you're there for that right reason, we applaud you and we thank you.
And there's not many of you down there, and we do appreciate those that are down there.
If you are down there for other reasons, and that is to try to make sure life is better for your friends and family, by way of skirting laws and whatnot, then we really don't need you down there doing that.
No.
But all of you that are dedicated and there for the right reasons, we realize you can only do what you're trained to do with the training you get, and we applaud you down there. So thank you for being down there. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How y'all this morning?
Doing good.
There's my man on the street. He's out. He's not in jail very long.
No, just that one time and done, once and done.
One and done.
One and done.
Tell me it's not so.
Yeah, I had one and done, man, when I was like 18.
They straightened you out, didn't they?
They just I wouldn't have went to jail if somebody would have came and got me. It was just driving without the driving license.
Okay.
They actually held me down there waiting for somebody to come and get me. No one showed up, so the jailer said, "Listen, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I can't leave you sitting here, so I'm going to have to put you behind the bars."
Oh man, I got you. Okay, there you go. Driving without a license. Well, I tell you what, and I want to just make sure people know that you are a U.S. veteran. You have served your country and you serve your community. And you love Meridian. So when we bring that up, we do it with tongue in cheek.
Yeah. Model citizen.
That's right.
Wishing to be model citizen.
You are a model citizen.
When I get to heaven, hopefully I can be a model saint.
There you go. Well, you will be. If you get to heaven, you will be.
Right, that's exactly right. You will. That's your passport right there, man.
There you go.
If you ain't going to be a model citizen there, you ain't getting there.
You ain't getting there, man. That's what I'm talking about. But listen, Roger, now you know I told you, and it's no secret, that Joe wasn't going to get charged for anything, no matter what. If he'd have shot 2 or 3 people, he wouldn't have got charged.
Oh, you mean?
And Hunter, wouldn't have got no time anyway. Hunter, he's not going. They might charge him. He's not going to get any time.
Yeah.
So, and now I just wonder, why is it that the police officer, our police officer, risk their lives and livelihood and families and go and arrest people like this stuff we just had with the takeovers of our college camp universities, only to go and let these folks out scot-free. No charge. Just let them go. It's just mind-boggling, man.
Well,
I mean, you done broke into the school. You done broke into the university different halls, broke up windows, and you go and get scot-free. There's no charge.
Well, and not just that, they held janitorial employees hostage inside of a room, locked up.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what else you can say to that.
You just described, caller, the challenge that law enforcement has in our community for keeping their morale up, because they do see that. They see that every day. They see, and they will admit they generally see the same people over and over, but it's like they go through the motions, they put the cuffs on them, they book them, and then only to see that they go free. And that's got to be somewhat demoralizing if you're going to be meaning to be a good, I guess, community servant there as a law enforcement officer.
Right, and they in them scrimmages like this, they get bruises, they get bumps and bruises on them. And just looking at them standing there with all that ruckus and commotion going on, they standing there, and to do what they do, and then only to see them, and it's kind of like the guy that stuck their finger up at the cop after they arrested him doing that New York beatdown or whatever, and he comes out sticking his finger up. You know, man, that's got to be. Boy,
I can tell you right now, if I was a New York police officer, if I was a police officer, period, my body cam would fail often.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
But the problem is everybody else has camera nows, and that's why we have the issue we have now, because you say, well, law enforcement, they should not be abusive or anything like that. And, there was a time before smartphones where law could be enforced and it was actually fairly corrective. I'm not advocating abuse, not at all, but I am advocating officers responding to abuse to them.
Yeah.
I am advocating that.
Yeah. And look where they're at now. They're such a fine line now. I can't imagine walking in those shoes every day when you get spit on or pushed around. I mean, you just want to anybody wants to respond. That's just human nature to do that. But these folks that wear the badge, man, kudos to you is all I got to say.
and get no support, man. That's what's
That
crazy
too.
about it. I mean, and let me ask you something now. Now, just like we keep saying freedom of the press and all of this, which I don't understand. I don't understand just because you're the press, you can do all these lies you tell, and there's no consequences. I don't understand that, Roy. I need some help, man.
Well, the thing about it is, if you're a criminal, you've got mental problems to start with, regardless of what level they are. Well, we got to take a break, my man on the street. Thank you so much for being out there.
I'm listening in.
Thank you for doing that. Yes, sir. Rob will come back, okay?
Let's do it.
Listen to the Beach Boys, Surfing USA. And we want to say a big happy birthday to Bruce Johnston. He is 82 years old today.
Awesome.
What to think about that? And, of course, other actors and actresses include Julia Duffy is 73 years old. And you remember her from Newhart, and she had a character that she played on Designing Women. And Tobey Maguire is 49.
Spammy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. And, of course, Lori Morgan, good country music star, 65 years old today.
She'll be here soon at the Riley Center.
She will be, won't she?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking forward to that. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to be visiting with a couple of young people who are part of Stage 2, and there's a production that's, is it premiering tonight? Tomorrow night. Okay, we got the cue on that. So we'll be talking about that in just a moment, but first, let's talk about those who helped make this show possible.
Well, one of those is our friends down at the Magnolia Restaurant, the Queen City Truck Stop. And, of course, lunch menu today.
Fried chicken.
Pot roast.
Oh, pot roast.
Pot roast
That's
day.
Thursday. That's
Thursday.
Right. How could I forget?
Yep, hamburger steak with onion and gravy. They do have fried chicken on the menu today as well. Fried pork chops, and, of course, you can do a veggie plate. Biggie burger with fries. Of course, a lot of breakfast items to start out your day as well. And if you want to get your meal to go, you can call at 601-482-0259. They're just off of exit 150 here in Meridian. Great staff, and the coffee is always hot and delicious. And go by and see them there at the Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop here in Meridian.
All right, our number here at Mornings in Meridian is 601-485-9191. We've got a caller that has rung in. We'll take that call before our interview with our Stage 2 folks. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, guys. And look, I'll do this real quickly. I
Chick.
almost hung up, but I didn't want to be impolite. But listen.
How you doing, Chick?
Right quickly, I'm well. I want to get out of the way for your guests. I just want to throw this out there.
Throw it out, Chick.
To both Democrats and Republicans. Let's listen to the debate tonight, and let's really listen open-mindedly. And then after having listened, let's say, hey, if there were other candidates, would we not vote for either one of these candidates? And let's be fair, and I'll chime in on it tomorrow after we watch the debate, but I'm going to get out of the way right now.
So, Chick, I gotta ask you this one question.
Okay.
How in the world can anybody sit down and watch the debate objectively like you're asking?
Well, I know it's going to take us kind of forcing ourselves to be open-minded, and I think we can. I think it's achievable. I think we can do it, and because what I'm hearing on both sides, that this is my guy, kind of like one commercial say, regardless, and that's a dangerous point in which to be. So I just want to say, and that's my desire, to listen open-mindedly and say, hey, if there was another candidate that I'm supporting on this side of the ticket, would I vote for that candidate as opposed to this one? And let's be fair. Let's not arbitrarily decide that this is our guy regardless. And I think that's what America really should be all about. I'm not saying we're there yet.
I haven't told the folks what I would like to see tonight. I would like to see the sponsors be like the people that sponsored the Lawrence Welk show, Geritol and Sominex and, what are you going to do about iron poor blood?
Yeah, we got one guy that's 81 and the other guy's 78. So.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to get out of the way for your guests.
Thank you.
I really want to hear them.
Yeah.
But just do what I ask, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
All right. I will expect your report tomorrow. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All righty. We're so glad you're out there. And, of course, we're delighted to welcome to the studio two youths that are here in the studio. Of course, they are part of a stage production that's going to be premiering, as we heard, tomorrow night out at MCC. And so welcome, first of all. She's probably been on stage a time or two, but she's a graduate student at Mississippi State?
Ole Miss.
Oh, Ole Miss. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say.
Get it right, Roger.
Well, I have to start with Ole Miss first. I mean, with State first, and then work my way up to State. Anyway, welcome, Virginia White. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thank you for being here. What are you graduate studying?
Integrated marketing communications.
Wow.
Oh, I better be quiet. I might be working for her one day.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to take it easy. I'm sorry, Virginia, if I offended you in any way. Things you got to do.
That's right.
No, that's very interesting because that sounds like what today requires. When you talk about integrated marketing, we do have radio here, but we've also caught on in our group that we have a large amount of digital advertising and all the rest that goes along with that. So is that kind of what you are studying in your course of studies?
In my, because I did my undergraduate at Ole Miss too, we can specialize, and one of my specializations was media sales. So I did study a little bit of radio and news stations when I did that. But it's a vast majority of things we study. We study how to do the research, how to do a full campaign, account planning, public relations. We study everything underneath the sun, so once we enter the workforce, we can do whatever we need to do or whatever we want to do.
In other words, there'll be no excuse for you not having a job.
No.
There you go. All right. We're going to keep our eye on Virginia, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here, by the way.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
And, of course, us means that she has with her Mr. Braden Alford. How you doing, Braden?
Man, I'm doing excellent. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Of course, you are not quite to the graduate level yet, but you are beginning college this year. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I'm going to Mississippi State. Going to study chemical engineering under a full ride scholarship.
Wow. There we go.
We're all about Mississippi. That's right.
That's right.
And you're going to study what again?
Chemical engineering.
I'm going to study listening next time I go to school. Chemical engineering. Look at you. Okay. And what will we do with chemical engineering once we get chemical engineering?
Hopefully develop some alternative energies. I think that's
some alternative energies.
Something that's very important to me. You know, American energy independence. I think that will be very helpful, especially in the future with the way.
I kind of like the idea of energy independence. I like that.
Everybody does.
I like kind of being self-sustaining and not beholding to other countries. Yeah, I like that.
More jobs, cheaper fuel. It works out.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, I appreciate you both being here, and of course, to enjoy your walk along the way of life, you have participated in stage productions, and particularly Stage 2 productions. And so, how many productions have you been in, Virginia?
That's a lot to count. But for Stage 2, I've been in, I would say 5 to 7 when I was in Stage 2, and then I've come back, and this is my 3rd year being an intern for Stage 2.
Okay, an intern. Okay, which basically means Virginia won't go away. No, I'm just kidding.
It's true.
I'm just kidding. Wow. No, that's awesome though. That's very good, because I'm sure that. Now, Susie's still there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
She's got to have your help, so that's good. Yeah, that's great. And so now, Braden, you are being a freshman. How many productions have you been in, sir?
Well, just with Stage 2, this would be my 2nd. But out of all shows, I'd say about 15.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been in, where other venues have you performed?
Just Meridian Little Theater and Meridian Community College.
Well, look at you.
Nice.
I just, last February, did the Complete Works William Shakespeare. That was a ton of fun.
We have veteran actors here and actresses here, so we're glad for that. So the production that's premiering tomorrow night is Guys and Dolls. Tell us a little bit about that. I know you can't give it away, but what's the story about?
Guys and Dolls is a classical musical that has so many well-known songs, such as Sit Down, You're Rockin' the Boat and Luck Be a Lady. So basically, there's 2 main gamblers, and Braden here plays the one who has been engaged for 15 years and refuses to marry his fiancée.
Braden, that's part of the line.
That was
engaged. 14 years.
Refuses to marry his fiancée, and she's so frustrated and wants him to quit playing craps. And so they're also hiding from a detective the whole time. And then there's the other lead gambler who's played by Cooper Ranciere, Sky Masterson, who doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't want a doll, just wants to travel alone, travel the world, and gamble.
Wow. And so we can only imagine that there's some sort of a conflict that arises out of those dynamics.
Well, he accidentally falls in love with a mission girl.
After Nathan asks Sky that he has to $1,000 so he can have his crap game in the sewers.
That's a whole heart. Okay.
That he has to take a mission doll to Havana.
It's a funny show.
Wow. So
it's all over the place.
Funny show about a fiance who wants her gambling boyfriend to cut the craps.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And somebody out there probably like, yep, been there, done that.
Yes, there you go. So that's great. So how many in the cast altogether? How many on stage?
There are 28 members in the cast, and they are all wonderful.
Oh, fantastic. So that premieres, you said, tomorrow night, Friday night?
Yes, sir.
At what time?
7 p.m. And it's 7 p.m. on Saturday and then 3 p.m. this Sunday.
So 7, 7, and 3, you can see it any time this weekend at those times. So this is great. So to get tickets, this is at MCC. So how would people get tickets for this event?
For this event, you go to MCC Arts and Letters website, and if you go to tickets, it'll take you straight to Guys and Dolls, or you can click the Stage 2 link, and it'll also take you to Guys and Dolls through the Stage 2 link on the MCC Arts and Letters webpage.
Yep, I'm up there looking at it right now.
You haven't, this isn't your first interview, Virginia.
No, sir.
You kind of got this all locked in there, right?
That's what happens when you've been on stage since you were 6 years old.
You know what? I'm thinking about this, and what if in the meantime you're in graduate school and all of a sudden you accidentally found an acting career? So is that something that's in your is that a possibility in your mind or no?
I would never say no, but I like doing the more behind the scenes that I've realized through Stage 2. I would love to go into the entertainment industry, either in public relations or publicity or even account planning.
Wow.
Okay,
cool.
So there you go. There's where that career could
Well,
lead.
explain to everybody what Stage 2 is. So exactly what is the group Stage 2?
Stage 2 is an organization for teens 13 through college, and we do theatrical training. We meet every Monday night, and we do improv games, cold reads, a little bit of movement, and that really bonds the group together. And then when we form the cast for our big summer show, that also creates a really strong bond between our members. We do showcase in the winter in January. That's student-led, so they have to choreograph themselves, rehearse their songs, and come up with their costumes, props, and everything by themselves. So that's a great leadership opportunity. And we also do a lot of community service because Miss Susie, she loves directing us in plays, but her number one priority is making sure that we have a lot of character and that we are good people. And then I think that is the best part about this organization is she wants us to be our best selves.
Good deal.
So we do a lot of community service, and we do a lot of making sure key elements in the community.
Yeah, so it's not just folks, it's not just MCC students. These are students from all around the area because you said 13 and all the way.
We have students from Lauderdale County schools and private schools, just from all over the place.
Wow, that's cool. Very
And
good.
what has your experience been like, Braden, in Stage 2 productions?
It has been awesome. The thing about theater is that whenever you do shows at MCC or MLT, you always have a different cast every single time because you have different people auditioning for different shows. But the best part about Stage 2 is that you have a consistent cast. It's the same group of kids that you get to see every week, and you get that opportunity to get close with them and stay close because you're not cycling out with new castmates every couple months every time you do a different show. And I think that's a huge strength in Stage 2 that I just love.
And what about you? If you got bored with alternative energy, would you be interested in working in the entertainment industry?
Absolutely. I've loved theater ever since I started doing it, and if I had that opportunity, I would definitely take it, 100%. But I know that whatever I do, I want to do it well, and if I think if I'd be better served working as an engineer, then I should stick with that.
Well, there you go. And of course, I take it from me, there's some people that spend their entire life figuring out what they want to do for a career. So
pretty much.
just be ready for that.
Not easily satisfied.
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's always another corner to turn, every now and then. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's try this. No, that's great. You kids are here. I say kids. I know that we're a graduate student, but anyway, it's all of you are kids to us, but you're also very grown up and very professional because I can hear that from the sound of your voice. And I bet when you get on stage, it's all about business of being that best leading role in whatever it may be.
We goof off a little bit, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
True confessions.
We have to get in line every so often.
I will say though, every time I say something, they're always very respectful, and it goes dead silent, so it makes rehearsing a breeze. And the cast is great. They come in every day ready to work.
I thought you were going to tell me every time you say something, they go silent and don't do a thing you ask.
Oh.
They wouldn't do that.
I can believe that. I wouldn't do that either.
Well, and another thing I appreciate,
come down on you.
Another thing I appreciate about this, it's summertime. You guys could be doing a million other things in the summer, but you know what? Stage 2 is calling, and you guys are putting this on. I think that's fantastic. So really, really devoted to this. Being summer, because like I said, there's a lot of things you could be doing during the summer, but putting on something for the community is pretty cool. So
pretty cool.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
All
easier
right.
when you got a group of people that you love.
There you go.
There you go.
Love it.
And of course, who doesn't love working with Miss Susie?
Be a hard task
There was a lot of
finding someone like that.
A lot
Yes.
of you can't hear them, but their heads are nodding up and down.
Yeah.
They're like, yes,
So-
yes, yes. Their heads are nodding very loudly. So that's very good. So, all right. So it's stage 2. Any suggestions for parents or grandparents out there that have young people that might need a little direction to the stage? They might be good if they were to get there. How do they get in contact with stage 2 and say, my child would really probably be a good part of this?
Show up on a Monday night.
Show up. There's a good word. Hey.
In August, we have our summer special, our reunion, where new upcoming members can attend the reunion, get in contact with Susie Johnson, get more information about the reunion. That's the easiest way to join Stage 2 because there is typically a waiting list. You can also join through MCC's Stage 2's website. There is a registration link to sign up through there.
Do you see a registration link, Rob?
Yeah, meridiancc.edu is the website.
All right, MeridianCC.
Pretty easy to navigate. So yeah,
They go looking for it and say, I think my child would like to maybe check this out, and suggest it to them and let them find their way to it.
And there's also a younger group called Take One. Stage 2 is for older kids, and Take One's for younger kids. I'd say
8 through 11 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so if you have an 8-year-old child, a grandchild, hey, they could start this career and they could become like Virginia, where they just become part of it and so attached to it that you just can't be without it. That's pretty cool, I think.
Yes, sir.
So what has your job been on this production?
I do a little bit of everything. I've done the marketing, publicity, doing the posters, designing the playbill, designing our T-shirts. I've gone on the radio countless times this week. Me and him have gone on TV a few times this
Well,
week.
you finally got to the right station. I mean,
About time, too.
I guess.
I saw the headphones and the mics. It's like, let's go. We're doing it.
I saved the best for last.
there you
Thank
go.
you.
Good answer.
I'm looking for a great political career for Virginia. Yes, she's going to be the first female governor of the state of Mississippi. Congratulations.
Get it done.
Just want to let you know that.
Thank you. Currently, right now, I'm stage managing on the side of the stage. I'm the production manager assistant. I've gone to the Downtown Optimist Club,
Wow.
and I've talked to them. I arranged a publicity day where me and all the cast went around town and hung up posters
Wow.
Yes.
in so many supportive businesses.
In the heat.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
We had how many cars were there?
We had 7 cars.
7 cars, and they had like 10 locations each.
And we had every car had 15 locations.
Oh.
Besides, one had 30 locations, and we hung up around 100 posters.
Wow.
Ooh, perfect. All right. Well, we wish you the best. We want to encourage folks to come out to Guys and Dolls.
Yeah.
MCC. Go and get your tickets. Get there and enjoy it. It's going to be. Is that the? They call that the
McCain Theater.
McCain Theater. I was trying to make sure I understood.
Yep, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, 7 Saturday night, and then the matinee on Sunday at 3.
And that's in Ivy Hall, right?
Yep, yes,
the
sir.
McCain Theater in Ivy Hall.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Virginia White, so good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Maybe one of two things. You either be involved in Hollywood entertainment or New York entertainment business, or you will be our boss here at Meridian Media Group, or you know, who knows what you might be doing. But thank you for being here with us.
Yes, sir.
And, of course, Braden Alford.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. And we wish you not just success on this stage this weekend, but many more to come.
I appreciate it.
You want to come back and see us now. You want to do that to this great radio station.
Shoot me a text. I'd love to be back on.
All right.
Absolutely.
His people will talk to our people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you never know. This old man's going to have to go to the house one day, so need somebody here. No, that's great. So we wish you the very best. It's Stage 2 production. It's Guys and Dolls. We got to take this quick break, come right back, and close the show.
Sounds good.
All right.
Life's gonna live here again.
Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. That's right.
Life's gonna live
Sing it, Buck. You can hear Buck Owens on our sister station. That's right, 105.7, The Legend.
The Legend.
Yeah. Well, Rob, that's about it for the day.
That is about it. Of course, debate tonight. We'll give you a wrap-up on that tomorrow as Biden and Trump will debate tonight. Remember, it's on CNN, but the folks at Fox are doing a simulcast tonight. So 90-minute debate starting at 8.
We'll see tonight if they cut the mics off of both candidates.
And also, we got some school district stuff to cover tomorrow, the Lauderdale County School District, because remember that
calls on this, that, and the other thing all tomorrow. Until then, this is Roger B. saying God bless and buy local.
Folks, have a great day, and God bless America.
Yes.
Life's gonna